What's up, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. So today I'm going to share some of my meals with you, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about what I've been up to lately. I haven't posted a YouTube or haven't uploaded a YouTube video for a while, so I just wanted to give you an update with what I'm doing. So I'm still doing jiu-jitsu, obviously, but it has been very challenging. I've had a few niggles. I've had an arm injury, finger injury, neck, back, you name it. It feels like I'm falling apart, but I think this is really down to just not managing my recovery. And I think you can learn something from, when you're training very, very hard and you're not giving your body enough rest, you will find yourself getting small injuries that can set you back. The main thing that I tell my clients is how you react to these injuries, because it's very easy to get down in the dumps that you can't train the way you want to, or you can't do the stuff that you want to when you get injuries. But you have to understand that more than likely we are creating these injuries ourselves through poor recovery, poor nutrition, poor sleep, and it could be down to poor form in the gym. In my case, it's just going hard too much, trying to be an athlete, and I'm getting old. I have to manage my recovery. It's very, very hard to do 5-6 jiu-jitsu sessions per week on top of 3 weight training sessions, on top of 3 or 4 cardio sessions at my age. I'm 35, I'm not 20 where I can kind of handle that much amount of activity, exercise. So I have to be smart, and it's going to come down to recovery. It's going to come down to knowing when to rest, knowing when to back off, and not waiting until you get an injury to tell you to back off. Now, I just want to give you an update on my injuries. So when you're doing jiu-jitsu, you're going to get little niggles, and you're going to get issues with your fingers and your toes because you're grabbing, and obviously you're using your toes and your feet for pressure when you're rolling, etc. For me, I've had 2 finger injuries, my little finger and this finger here, and it could be down to holding the grips, holding the gi. When you're in scrambles, when you're kind of rolling with people, you bash your fingers up. They're not serious, but they do put you out, and it's hard to kind of train when you've got them. And then I had my arm injury. If you follow me on Instagram, I'll just put my tag here. If you don't follow me, that's where I put my best content, and I get people to send me DMs where I talk about stuff on YouTube. I shared on my story that I hurt my arm. It was stupid. I was playing a silly arcade game, got a bit too competitive with myself to beat the record. I actually done very well, but in the process, for some reason, I just hurt the ligaments in my arm here, and it put me out for a day. I trained jiu-jitsu that night, and I just hurt even more. So I was out for about, it didn't put me out for a day. It put me out for around 4 days of training altogether, which is frustrating, but it's okay now. Neck injury, I've had this for a couple of months now, and I had to see an osteopath today because it was just bugging me. It just wasn't recovering. It wasn't getting better. And I know that rest helps most injuries, but when you're someone that just can't keep still, you want to do jiu-jitsu, you want to train, you don't want to have rest from exercise, it's very hard. It's easy for someone else to say, have a week off. It's not easy to do. So anyway, I've been working around it, and I've got to the point where it's just really annoying me now. So I went to see an osteopath today, and they've said that I've got imbalances with my hips, which I've always known I've had, but I've just kind of, again, just pushed through it. And then what happens is you get a build-up of issues around the neck, your back, and the spine. You get muscles that try to compensate, and it's the recipe for disaster if you don't get that corrected. So get the alignment corrected, some manipulation. I'm no expert when it comes to this physiotherapy stuff, so obviously you go to see someone that's a professional that knows what to do. And like I said, I've always just kind of pushed through injuries. Not smart, but I've always thought that if I use my mind to try to think positively and kind of it will correct itself, then I'll be okay. But Again, that's not smart. So she helped massively. It was only a half an hour session, but it's really relieved some pressure. I'll see her again in a couple of weeks and see how things are. And then again, just manage the amount of output. Okay, if you feel like your body is getting a little bit beat up, you've got to rest, because it's a sign that something can go wrong soon. All it takes is for you to bend down in an awkward way, or even bend down in a normal way. I hurt my back the other day, just bending down to pick up my daughter. And it wasn't that my muscles and my body couldn't handle picking up my daughter. It was because there's compensations. If you've gotten your spine is out of alignment, then your body is going to compensate, and this is where you get issues. So just wanted to give you that update there. And, you know, for me, it really is a case of just not going too hard. There's only so much you can do in a week in terms of your training, and you have to back off, otherwise you're going to get an injury. So that's the update for me. I'm still going to compete this year with jiu-jitsu. I'm not going to say what competition I'm doing yet, because I don't want to put that pressure on myself. It's going to come down to when I feel confident, I might just go, right, I'm competing next week. But I do not want to go and have an 8-week prep, a 12-week prep like I've been doing for bodybuilding. It's just, I don't want that pressure on myself. So I'm just going to get the fittest, strongest, and best at jiu-jitsu I can. And when I'm ready, I'll just go, right, I'll compete at this competition. Today, I just wanted to give you that update, and I'm also going to share what I'm eating today. I'm consuming around 2,500 calories. I've gained a few kilos since I've done my last video, because I got down to the point where I was happy with my physique. I wanted to build the calories back up, but I had a few weekends where I overate and it crept up a bit too much. So no training footage today. I'm just going to do some cardio, share my meals with you, and that is it. So enjoy the rest of the video, and like always guys, please subscribe and like the video if you do, and any questions that you got, just pop them below. See you in the next clip. So first meal is going down. I like to keep it simple with my first meal, so we're going to be going with some beef mince, some cheese, and some salt. So all I do is literally put some salt on here, mix this in, and make 4 100-gram patties. So these will just go in the air fryer, and they will come out like this. So the burgers are done. What I like to do now is just put the cheese on top like this. Trying to do this with one hand. Oh, I forgot. Some of this tomato sauce, just like that. There we go. Job done. Nice and simple. So guys, I decided to train in the end just a simple, quick upper body workout, nice and light, as I've only got 20 kilo dumbbells here. So I was doing 20 reps on most exercises. So we got flat dumbbell press, we got shoulder press here. Again, just 20 reps, getting some blood in the muscle, nothing too extreme. We got bent over dumbbell rows. This is a great exercise. Love this if you haven't got heavy dumbbells. And then we got biceps. I had to be careful with my arm. So again, nothing too heavy. This is actually 10 kilo dumbbells. And then we got a really good exercise. I like this tricep extension exercise that you can do at home. Again, this is very, very light. Only 10 kilo dumbbells here. And that was it. Just nice, simple and easy. So we've got post-workout here. This is about an hour after I trained, and we're going to cook up some chocolate protein pancakes. So we're going to start off with some almond milk. I use about 50 to 100 milliliters. It all depends on the consistency. So when you're using whey protein, it can come out a different consistency. You want it nice and thick so you can make some decent pancakes. Second ingredient, we've got cocoa powder. I use 10 grams, and this really gives it that kind of rich chocolatey taste. You can use any flavored protein you want, but I'm using chocolate here. Banana, 150 grams of banana. Get those carbs in. And I think the next ingredient is an egg. So just one whole egg, and this is what gives it that kind of pancake texture as well. There's so many different variations of protein pancakes, but this one I think is pretty simple. It might have a few ingredients, but it's lowish calorie. You can change the calories depending on how much oats you want to put in, how much whey you want to put in. And this is 60 grams of oats here. Then I think the next ingredient, we are going to go with some honey, just to give it that sweetness. I'm obviously using whey protein as well in a minute. And sometimes, certain whey proteins are not that sweet. So just adding in a little bit of honey or maple syrup gives it a little bit more sweetness. And then I think we've got 2 more ingredients, and we're going to go with the bicarbonate of soda, only a teaspoon, but I think I poured in about a tablespoon here because I didn't use an actual teaspoon. And then whey protein, you can use isolate or concentrate. Isolate is probably not going to make it a bit too runny, so this is a diet protein, but it's got a good ingredients. It's decent, it's cheap, and it tastes nice. So I put 50 grams in here, and then that is it. So you blend this up, make sure it's all blended, and then you really want to make sure that consistency is right. So I tried to blend this and it wasn't blending properly, so I had to add a bit more almond milk in just to make sure that the consistency was there. But then, as you can see now, it's a nice thick consistency. I've just put a little bit of butter in the pan to make sure it doesn't stick, and then just pour it on and make those pancakes. You can make one big pancake, but it doesn't always come out well, so I just try to do lots of little ones. So there you have it, pancakes, looking good. And now I'm going to add this rice protein pot on top. Macros are okay. I think it's like 170 calories per pot, 14 grams of protein. Got these from Asda. And then we have this one. This is banana and peanut butter flavor. This is a yogurt, 14 grams of protein, but the calories are a lot lower. So I think, 83 calories per pot compared to this is like 170, but obviously this is going to be a lot better tasting. So I'm going to add that on top. And there it is. That looks good. I'll put the macros and the calories on the screen. But that is my post-workout meal. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So guys, next meal. This is the last meal of the day. We have chicken, rice, some Nordic fish oil, and pineapple. So let's get this prepared. So this is the last meal of the day, and this is a bit of a strange meal. Chicken, rice, pineapple, and some fish oil. But it's actually a really tasty meal. So as you can see, I'm butchering this chicken breast here. I'm going to cut up 300 grams of chicken and very simply just season it. I'm going to put the seasoning on in a minute. But when it comes to meal prep, personally, I just like to be in and out. I don't want to be spending my time making gourmet meals. I just kind of slap it together and cook it and season it and do whatever as quick as possible. So I've cut this up. What I'm about to do now is get some paprika, which I use on nearly everything that I eat in terms of like meats and chicken and stuff like that. So even fish, paprika is such a good one. So this is actually salt. So salt here, salt everything, obviously. And then I go and get the paprika. And, you know, there's so many different seasonings that you can use that are obviously low calorie, that are going to spice up and make your food taste nicer. But personally, I can just eat chicken bland. It really doesn't bother me. So that's my paprika putting on. And then I'm going to put that back. And then I'm going to put some garlic powder on. Or garlic granules, should I say. Garlic granules are different to garlic powder. And then that is it. Simply just nice and easy, simple seasonings. And then after I've seasoned this, I'm going to put this in the air fryer. And I air fry nearly everything as well. If you haven't got an air fryer, you need to get one. They are so good, so simple, so quick. And I just put this on for about, I think it's about 10 minutes it worked out to be. And then I'm about to do the rice now. So this is actually jasmine rice that I'm using here. I cook it in a rice cooker. Again, if you haven't got one of these are a lifesaver. They save you a lot of time. So chicken was 300 grams. Rice is 250 grams. And I'm just going to put that on the plate, weigh it out. And then I'm going to microwave it for a couple of minutes. Probably add some salt. And then I'm going to add the Nordic fish oil. So this is where it starts to get a bit weird. Now this is a lemon flavored fish oil, and it's a very high quality fish oil. You can get this from Amazon, and it's probably one of the best quality fish oils on the market. And the reason why I'm putting it on my rice, because it actually flavors it very well, because it's got like a lemony taste, a lemony, oily, fishy taste. It actually is pretty decent, to be honest. Normally people would just have 5 to 10 milliliters of this in the morning or at night time to get your fish oil in, omega 3s, but I'm just using it as a bit of a flavouring for my rice. 15 milliliters. And then we've got the pineapple. It gets even weirder. So I'm going to put some pineapple on. I think the pineapple's 250 grams. And I'm just going to chop that up, mix it all in, and then eat away. And it all goes in one whole, and I like it. Again, if you've never tried mixing foods together, you don't know, do you? To be honest, it's the first time I've actually mixed pineapple and rice together, but it worked. And I'm about to tell you that I'm a bit of a weirdo for making that concoction up in a second.
You must think I'm mad.
So guys, there you have it, a full day of eating and some training in there as well. I didn't think I was going to train, but I thought I'd get a little bit of a pump session in just to get some blood in the muscle. Wasn't anything too intense. Obviously you can see there, dumbbells only went up to 20 kilos, but my arm was okay. I had to be aware because obviously, like I mentioned earlier, I've hurt my arm, but it wasn't too bad at all. So wrapped up 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Not your typical bodybuilding style meal frequency, but I've been eating 2 to 3 meals for a long time now, and it works best for my schedule. I'm still hitting my protein intake, I'm still hitting my calorie intake, and it allows you to have bigger meals. I mean, my first meal was at 12 o'clock, so I always delay my first meal for as long as possible, and this just allows me to have more calories throughout the afternoon, evening. It is no superior in terms of fat loss when you fast. Yes, it's an intermittent fasting approach, but I truly believe that it doesn't make a difference whether you eat your meals in the morning or if you cut out your meals in the evening. As long as you're hitting your calorie intake for the day, it doesn't matter when you eat. So you've got your breakfast. I had breakfast, first meal of the day, cheeseburgers, one of my favorite meals. And then we had the pancakes, which are insane. Yes, they do take a little bit of time to prep, but they are worth it. And I don't have them every day. Again, like if you've seen my previous full days of eating, my meals can vary. I do have my staples, my cheeseburgers, I have them nearly every day, but sometimes I'll have pancakes, sometimes I won't. And then you got the last meal was my chicken, pineapple, rice, and fish oil. I know that's a strange, weird meal, but it all goes down the same hole. I enjoy it. It tastes good. So give it a try. You know, people have pineapple on their pizzas, and I think that's strange. What's wrong with having pineapple with chicken and rice? So the calories, I'm going to put the calories and the macros on the screen. I think it's around 2,500 I won't even bother trying to remember it. It's all in my MyFitnessPal. I'll put them up on the screen. And that's where I'm at the minute. I'm trying to drop a couple of kilos to get back. So the video cut out because I have not got enough storage on my phone, which is super frustrating. So I have to do this bit again. So I'll put the macros and the calories on the screen. And basically I'm trying to drop a few more kilos because been a bit all over the place lately with my food, kind of justifying being able to eat more, binging a little bit because I haven't got a goal. But I really want to get back down to my fighting weight, which is basically the weight that I'll be competing at when I compete later on this year, which is around 176 pounds. So right now I'm at 182, so it's only 6 pounds. It will take me 2 to 3 weeks to get that off. And then it's a case of making sure that I stay there, stay super strong, get stronger if I can at that weight, fit, and obviously improve my jiu-jitsu so I can compete next year, this year, at the end of this year. So like always guys, if you enjoyed the video, drop me a like please, and subscribe if you haven't already. There's a lot of people that watch this and I appreciate you that you watch it, but if you subscribe to the channel, it obviously helps me out as well. And if you've got any questions, just head over to my Instagram and drop me a DM, and I'll see you guys in the next video.